On the morning of June 6, 1980, a burly and rugged 56-year-old coal miner, Zigmund Adamski, bid farewell to his cosy abode in Tingley, West Yorkshire, England, with the intention of stocking up on groceries. Regrettably, he never returned to his beloved home. 3 fateful days later, his remains were stumbled upon, perched atop a towering mound of coal in the distant town of Todmorden, a staggering 20 miles away from his home. When local constable Godfrey was dispatched to investigate, he stumbled upon a bewildering sight. The well-dressed miner, Zigmund Adamski, was found missing several personal belongings, including his shirt, wallet, and wristwatch. But the oddities didn't end there. Godfrey noted that Adamski's hair had been hacked off in a rough, uneven manner, and, despite having been missing for multiple days, he only sported a mere 24 hours worth of stubble. The young Godfrey also reported that the miner's neck, head, and shoulders were marked with puzzling burns. The coroner, James Turnbull, made a shocking revelation, confirming that some of the burns on the body were treated with an obscure and unidentified ointment. The astute PC Godfrey later remarked that Adamski appeared as if he had been frightened to death. Turnbull commented later that it was the biggest mystery of his career. Speaking to reporters, PC Godfrey said there was a possibility Adamski had been abducted by aliens. To this day, the enigmatic passing of Zigmund Adamski, the diligent coal miner from the Loft House colliery, remains an unsolved puzzle. At the time, tales of the KGB killing him circulated like wildfire, while others believed he had been struck by a bolt of ball lightning, causing him to wander aimlessly and meet his demise atop of a coal pile. However, for a great many folks, there was only one plausible explanation. The miner had a fateful encounter with extraterrestrial entities during his shopping excursion, resulting in his untimely demise. 5 months after the macabre death of Zigmund Adamski, Todmorden once again became the focal point of widespread media coverage. This time, however, it was the very same constable, Godfrey, who was at the center of the tempestuous spotlight. On a pre-dawn assignment to address a cattle escape on a local housing estate, PC Godfrey found himself mysteriously frozen in place by what he claimed was an enigmatic flying object. According to the constable's personal account, the celestial phenomenon was a radiant light in the sky, a gleaming, diamond-shaped craft, towering at a height of 20 feet and spanning a width of 14 feet, rotating with grace. PC Godfrey hastened to sketch the flying object in his notepad and reached for his police radio to report the incident. To his dismay, the radio was dead. In a brilliant flicker, the object disappeared into the air, leaving Godfrey bewildered as he found himself positioned in his car, 30 yards down the road. Peering at his watch, he was taken aback to discover that 25 minutes had somehow passed in what felt like mere moments. To add to the already surreal situation, his boot had a tear, and a strange itchiness was present on one of his feet. Perplexed, Godfrey retraced his steps to the site where the radiant light had hovered and encountered a strange discovery. The road where his car had been was completely dry, even though it had recently rained. Stepping out of the vehicle to inspect the area, he found the cattle he had been searching for grazing in a park adjacent to the road. Puzzlingly, they were nowhere to be seen before he encountered the mysterious flying object. A sense of befuddlement and wonder filled the air as the constable grappled with the enigmatic events unfolding before him. As he attempted to recount his bizarre experience to others, PC Godfrey encountered skepticism and even ridicule. Heeded by a trusted legal advisor, he resolved to seek the counsel of a hypnotist in order to unearth the truth of what had happened. While under the influence of hypnosis, Godfrey recounted his vivid recollection of being momentarily overpowered by the intense light. Before losing consciousness, he detailed to the hypnotist a dream-like state in which he found himself in an unfamiliar chamber, being examined by several small beings and a towering, bearded humanoid. However, these claims were once more met with a mixture of disbelief and skepticism. Later on, a mysterious figure clad in a dark suit and tie presented himself to PC Godfrey. Identifying himself as the man from the ministry, he carried a file that contained Godfrey's illustration of the enigmatic object he had encountered. Although the contents of the file remained concealed from Godfrey, He deduced it also consisted of his recollection of that fateful night, and the report of the perplexing death of Zigmund Adamski. The man implored Godfrey to swear an oath of secrecy under the Official Secrets Act, to which Godfrey begrudgingly consented, despite the fact that other authorities, including police officers and a bus driver, also claimed to have witnessed eerie illuminations during that same dawn. PC Godfrey's tale was deemed a source of shame for the Yorkshire Law Enforcement Agency. Eventually, he was reassigned to Wakefield, and some individuals even tried to have him institutionalized. Godfrey later claimed that he was hounded out of the police for refusing to give up on his story. He also talked of the negative impact the incident had had on his family. "I wish I'd never seen the UFO, particularly because of the effects on my children," he was later to reflect. "It's not easy having a policeman as a father, but when he's a policeman who saw a UFO, it's even worse." The unnamed entity, which he called it, threatened to completely devastate Alan's life. He was subjected to public ridicule and forcibly removed from his beloved job, causing him to succumb to alcoholism and ultimately causing the disintegration of his marriage. Whatever it was, I'll let you decide.